Alabama Department of Environmental Management. I am the designated hearing officer for this hearing. I would like to welcome each of you to the hearing today. The subject of this hearing is the proposed revisions to ADEM Administrative Code Division 335-15. Notice of the date, time, place, and purpose of this hearing was published in the Tuscaloosa News, the Coleman Times, the Call News, and the Montgomery Advertiser on October 25th, 2023. Copies of the certifications of these publications are submitted for the hearing record as Exhibits C1 through C4. On October 27, 2023, the Department also caused the same notice to be sent to 2,824 individuals and organizations requesting advance notice of rulemaking. A listing of the individuals and organizations notified will be entered into the hearing record as Exhibit C5. A copy of the proposed rules was filed with the Administrative Procedure Division of the Legislative Services Agency, and a copy was furnished to the Joint Committee on Administrative Regulation Review on October 20th, 2023. A copy of the notice was also published in the Alabama Administrative Monthly Volume 42, Issue 1, on October 31st, 2023. These facts are attested to by Othny Latham, Director of the Legislative Services Agency, by affidavit, which is submitted for the hearing record as Exhibit C6. Copies of the proposed rules have been available for inspection by the public at ADEM field offices in Birmingham, Mobile, and Decatur, and ADEM offices in Montgomery. The proposed regulation changes have also been available on the ADEM internet site at adem.alabama.gov. A copy of the proposed rules is submitted for the hearing record as Exhibit B1. A copy of the summary of reasons supporting adoption of rules is submitted for the hearing record as Exhibit B2. This hearing is being conducted to provide the public an opportunity to present data, views, questions, and arguments on the proposed rules. It is open to the public, and anyone wishing to present oral testimony or a written statement may do so. Persons who have not previously advised the hearing officer of their intent to give oral testimony should complete a registration card and present it to the representative at the registration table, which is right outside these doors. All verbal and written comments received today and during the public notice period will become part of the hearing record. The information in the record will be used in evaluating the proposed rules. Lengthy statements containing considerable technical or other significant data should be submitted for the record in writing. Summaries of such statements may be presented orally. All testimony and written statements should be as factual as possible and should address the subject of this hearing. This hearing is not intended as a question and answer session, and persons giving testimony will not be subject to questioning by the public. They may, however, be questioned by the hearing officer or any other representative of the Department of Environmental Management to clarify points and to develop a better understanding of the information being presented. We will now proceed to the principal purpose of today's hearing, the receipt of public comments. I would ask that each person making a statement please step to the podium, state your name and any interest or organization that you represent. This hearing is being recorded by a court reporter, and a transcript will be included in the public record. The order of appearances of persons giving oral testimony will be as follows. First, a representative of the Department of Environmental Management, then public officials, then members of the public in the order they filed registration cards to give oral testimony. I now call on Sonja Favors, Chief of the Industrial Hazardous Waste Branch of the Land Division.
Good afternoon. My name is Sonja Favors, and I am the Chief of the Industrial Hazardous Waste Branch of the Land Division of the Alabama Department of Environmental Management. I am going to provide a brief summary of the reasons supporting the proposed revisions to the Alabama Department of Environmental Management Administrative Code, Chapter 335-15, the Voluntary Cleanup Program. under the provisions of the Alabama Environmental Management Act 22-224A, Code of Alabama, 1975, as amended, the Department of Environmental Management was given the authority to adopt rules, regulations, and standards in order to carry out the provisions and intent of Chapter 22A. The Administrative Procedures Act, Section 4122-4, requires each agency to adopt rules of practice setting forth the nature and requirements of all formal and informal procedures available. New revisions to the ADEM Code 335-15 are being proposed to enhance job creation and economic development in the state of Alabama, along with complying with the Brownfield Remediation Reserve Fund Act of the 2023 Alabama Legislature Regular Session. This rulemaking provides a mechanism for implement of a cleanup program which encourages applicants to voluntarily assess, clean up, remediate, and provide the productive reuse of brownfield sites in Alabama. These new rules establish administrative guidelines and procedures for reimbursement from the Brownfield Remediation Reserve Fund. In addition, the department is amending the limitation of liability requirements for responsible party applicants and clarifying the obligations for release reporting. The department is also proposing to make several typographical and citations updates in the existing regulations. The purpose of today's hearing is to provide an opportunity to receive public comment regarding the revisions as noted. The department welcomes your input into this process and will consider all technical comments prior to making a final decision concerning the revisions of these regulations. The department will also provide a response to each comment and to those requesting specific special notice of our decision. Thank you.
I will now call on public officials, followed by members of the public in the order in which they filed registration cards to give oral testimony. I would ask that each person making a statement please step to the podium, state your name, and any interest or organization that you represent. I am requesting that everyone limit your comments to 5 minutes since I have asked for lengthy statements to be submitted in writing. If anyone feels they would like to make additional comments, I will appropriate more time after everyone in attendance has had a chance to speak. I have not received any registration cards of anyone indicating that they wish to speak. Is there anyone who has not had a chance to complete a card who wishes to speak at this time? Let the record reflect that there is no response. The final hearing record will include a transcript of this hearing, all written submissions and exhibits, and a response by the department to each relevant comment received by the hearing officer before 5:00 p.m. Thursday, December 14th, 2023 at the ADEM offices in Montgomery. After consideration of all oral and written comments, ADEM will make a determination regarding possible revisions to the proposed rules and prepare a response to all relevant comments received. When a final decision has been made, ADEM will forward the final draft of the proposed rules, as may be revised, the hearing record, and if conflicting views are submitted, a concise statement of the principal reasons for and against adoption of the proposed rules and the reasons for overruling any considerations urged against their adoption to the Environmental Management Commission for its consideration and possible adoption. Once complete, this record will be available for public inspection in the office of the Department of Environmental Management in Montgomery. Thank you for your attendance and participation today. This hearing is adjourned.